What's going on, everybody, and welcome to my channel. If you end up liking what you see today, I encourage you to hit that subscribe button as well as that notification bell for when I upload more videos. I hope you enjoy your stay, and let's get started. So, as you can tell by the title of the video, we are doing a tier listing of all 56 MCU projects. This is all the way up until Daredevil Season 2. I haven't watched Wonder Man yet, don't really have the urge to, so this is what we got. This is what we're working with. We'll get started with the names of the tiers. At the bottom, we have not seen. Those are the MCU projects, obviously, that I have not watched, I have not seen. Then we have garbage. Those are the ones that I think are absolute trash, dog shit, bottom of the barrel. And then we have one time watch, which are movies that were cool for the first experience, probably wouldn't go back and watch it again. We have Back for Seconds. Those are movies that I could watch multiple times and have fun with. Not quite Marvelous or Assemble level, which we're going to get into. Then that brings us to Marvelous, which are movies that I think are amazing. I have a lot of fun with. I rewatch them all the time, but not quite to the level of Assemble that some of these movies are. And that brings us to our top tier, Assemble. Those are the movies that I think are the best of what the MCU has to offer. Also, disclaimer, I'm probably going to have some hot takes. We're all going to have different opinions. Mine aren't going to be the same as yours. Yours aren't going to be the same as mine. So let's keep that in mind. Keep an open mind and just enjoy each other's opinions. Um, yeah, let's just get right into it. All right, so now we have the one that started it all, the one that began this cinematic universe that we all know and love. We have Iron Man, and that for me is going up into Marvelous. Um, I don't think it's quite Assemble. Some might argue that. I don't know. But I think it's Marvelous. It started everything we know and love. And this was a time in the MCU where it was all slow on the ground. Nothing extravagant. We ain't been to space yet. Everything is grounded. It's realistic. Realistic. I use that lightly. So yeah, I think Marvelous is a solid place to put that one. Now we have The Incredible Hulk 2008 with Edward Norton. And I don't know if this is a hot take. As a standalone film, its own thing, I think it's great. Um, Once it gets to it's connected to the whole MCU thing, that's where I start to get pissed off because they switched actors to Mark Ruffalo, and that's where it kind of gets disconnected from me. I'd try to ignore it as a whole universe thing, but as a standalone film, I think it works well. I could watch it multiple times and enjoy myself. I really like the how the Hulk is, how rageful he is, just like he should be, as opposed to what we have now. Hopefully, they're going to go back to it with Spider Man Brand New Day, but we'll just have to see. But Back for Seconds is a perfect place to put that one. Now we got Iron Man 2, and this one for me can also go in Back for Seconds. I don't know if that's a hot take. I know a lot of people put that low on their list. Yes, it's a very flawed Iron Man film, very flawed film in general. So, but I could watch it multiple times just because it is Iron Man. I might be a little biased on that, but now we got Thor, and that shit is. I was gonna put garbage, but one time watch, I think that's fair. I like the story to it. I like the love thing going on between Thor and Jane. All that, but I wouldn't watch it again. I watched it one time, and one time is that's it for me. Captain America, the First Avenger, that is going to one time watch, and that might be a hot take. Oh my gosh, please don't give it to me. Um, yeah, I liked it for the first time. Not enough to watch it again. Probably the only time I watched it again was when I fell asleep the first time watching it. It's boring to me. I don't have that much interest in the character, so that might have some play on it, but yeah. Now we have Avengers, and that will be the first one to go into assemble. Literally, that is the first time they all assembled on the screen. I unfortunately didn't get that theater experience, but when I seen the movie, I instantly loved it, rewatched it multiple times. Could go back and rewatch it right now and have a fucking blast. So yeah, no questions asked. Now we have Iron Man 3, and I remember, I forget what grade we were in, but our school actually took us to go see this movie in the theaters as a school, and that was a pretty awesome experience. So I might be biased when I throw this up into Marvelous, because I remember that experience like the back of my hand, and it was awesome, and the movie was awesome. Well, I can't say the movie was awesome, but the experience made it feel awesome, if that makes sense. So that's where it's going. Fight me. Now we have Thor: The Dark World, and that is the first one that's gonna go into garbage. Um, yeah, fuck that movie. It was so bad. It took me 4 attempts just to get through it because I kept falling asleep. It was absolutely boring. Even now, if you ask me what the plot was, I couldn't tell you. I don't remember. I don't care to remember, and I'll never watch that movie again. So there's that. Captain America: The Winter Soldier. This might be a really, really big hot take, but that's going into one time watch for me. As I said, not a big fan of the character to begin with. I like the stuff with Nick Fury and Black Widow. That stuff's cool, but other than that, I have no reason to go rewatch it. It was fun for what it was, I guess. So yeah. Now we got Guardians of the Galaxy, and that is going into back for seconds, but just barely. I know that's an unpopular opinion, but I I'm not a big fan of it. I like the story of how they all got together, but that's about all that it has going for me as far as me being able to rewatch it. Um, that's all I got to say about that one. Now we have Avengers Age of Ultron, and this one is going into Marvelous. Not quite assemble for me. I really like this film. I feel like towards the end it gets kind of messy. I'm not gonna go into detail because we have so much to get through, but it's Marvelous. I could rewatch it a shit ton of times, have fun with it every single time. It's just a very fun comic book movie. The story with Ultron and all that, I'm hit or miss with it, but yeah, that's where it's going for me. Now we got Ant-Man, and that is going into Marvelous. That might be unpopular. I don't really care. I really like this movie. I really like the story with Scott Lang at the beginning and how he transitions to step up to the plate of being Ant-Man and filling those shoes. I think that stuff's really interesting. So that's really all I got for that one. Now we're getting into the bread and butter with Civil War. That's going into Assemble right next to Avengers. I really like everything about this film. Probably the one that I've rewatched the most out of this entire list. I just think it has that much rewatchability. Everything at the beginning is very fun. How it sets up the divide between the Avengers, and then you got Cap and you got Iron Man's team. If you ask me, I'm Team Iron Man all the way. If you want to get into that, just drop a comment. We can have a whole debate about that. I love it. But that's where that's going. Assemble. Now we have Doctor Strange, and this one is a one-time watch for me. I liked it the first time. Not enough there for me to go and sit through it again, and that's really it for that one. The effects were nice. The visuals were really stunning. The story was mid for me. Um, Everything else just kind of fell flat. Now we got Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, and that is going into one time watch. I just didn't like it at all. Nothing about it. For the one time experience, it was okay, but that's all I got. Now we got Spider-Man Homecoming. That is going up into Marvelous. They introduced Spider-Man in Captain America Civil War. That was amazing, and then they really carried the momentum with Spider-Man Homecoming. It's not your traditional Peter Parker origin story. They kind of skipped over all that. I really like the younger version of Peter Parker. I think this is the definitive version of Spider-Man that I would want on the big screen. So that's going into Marvelous for me. Now we have Thor Ragnarok. That is going to go into Marvelous as well. I think out of all the Thor movies, this is probably the most fun one. I laughed a lot. I really like all the stuff with Hulk and Thor and that whole dynamic. I think that stuff's really great. I really wish they took this momentum into the next Thor, which we'll discuss in a bit, but unfortunately, they dropped the ball. So that one's going in Marvelous right next to Spider Man. Now we have Black Panther, and this, I don't know how everyone's going to feel about this, but that's going into one time watch. It was a good first experience. I see what it's going for, and I respect all that. But me and having my fanship, just it's not it. It's not a movie for me. Um, I watched it just to complete the whole story. But other than that, I have no reason to go back and rewatch that at all. All right, now we got Avengers Infinity War. That's going straight into Assemble. That shouldn't be a surprise to anybody. Um, Comic book movie at its finest. It is everything you want in a comic book film. Fun. It was a blast. I didn't get the chance to experience it in the theaters with everybody. I didn't have my shit together, so I wasn't able to experience that. But regardless, it was amazing. I could rewatch this film all day, every day. Very very awesome. Ant-Man and the Wasp. This one is gonna go to garbage. I watched it once. Don't need to watch it again. Don't want to watch it again. I could have gone without watching it. That's how much that's how much trash it is to me. Yeah. So not gonna waste any more time. Captain Marvel. Not even gonna talk about it. Now we have Avengers Endgame that is going right next to Infinity War. I think it is an awesome movie. It is very flawed, very long runtime. You kind of don't want to sit all the way through it, but what's going on the screen just you feel entitled to sit there through it. It's a good film. Now we have Spider-Man Far From Home. That is going in the back for seconds. Not a huge fan of this film. I'm not a big fan of the setting. I would rather it have been in New York or somewhere in the United States, but it is what it is. I mean, that kind of throws off my whole vibe for it. Um, I like the stuff with Mysterio. I think Jake Gyllenhaal really does a good job at portraying the character. Um, it's just the setting for me. It kind of throws me off. But that's my opinion for that one. Now we have WandaVision. I believe this is the first MCU TV series on Disney Plus. This one I can go into back for seconds. I've watched it twice already. I think it's done really well, especially the beginning episodes, and then as stuff ramps up, it kind of goes downhill from there. But that's to be expected. It's a comic book movie. That's what it's going to turn out to be at the end of the day. Um, but I think there's some quality stuff here. Now we got the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. This one is gonna go into one time watch. I seen it once, had to really push myself to get through it. And then once I got through it, I'm like, all right, well, this is just 6 episodes on why Sam should get the shield. Even though we already explored that at the end of Endgame, it's whatever. It is what it is. It's cool for the one time. Loki season 1. This one is gonna go into Marvelous. I really enjoyed it. I think Tom Hiddleston really does his thing. He's funny as hell. He really has me laughing the first few episodes. Um, yeah, I really enjoyed my time with it. Black Widow. That one is going into garbage. I did not need to see it. Wish I hadn't seen it. Waste of time, in my opinion. Other than the characters that we are introduced to, like Yelena, um, and their dad, I have no reason to watch it again. What If? Have not seen. Shang-Chi. This one is going to go into back for seconds. I know some people have it higher on their list. Um, it's just not that great to me. I'm not a fan of the character either. I think the story's good. I think the characters are good. I think the plot's good. I think everything's good. It's just not being a fan of the character and everything going on. It's just, it kind of hinders it for me. So that's where I'm going to put it. Eternals. Absolute trash. Not even going to talk about it. Now we have Hawkeye. This one's going to go into back for seconds. Um, I really enjoyed this one. I think this is one of the better MCU shows, and I haven't seen it a second time, but I am definitely going to. I think it's got a really good story and a really good setup with some of the other characters in here. And I really like how it ties Kingpin and that whole Daredevil universe and stuff, so that's really awesome. Back for Seconds is a good spot for that one. Now we got Spider Man No Way Home, and this one's going to go straight into Assemble because this is everything you want out of a Spider Man film. I mean, you got all three of the live action Spider Man together. You got Toby, Tom, and Andrew all on the screen. And let me tell you, that theater experience was fucking phenomenal. As soon as they came on the screen, you hear everybody around you just screaming, cheering, clapping. It was a great time. And I might be a little biased because of that experience, but it is what it is. I really loved it. Now we have Moon Knight. Moon Knight. Not sure where I'd put this one. Probably one time watch. I don't think it was horrible, but I don't think it was worth going back and checking out again. I really like the character of Mark and whoever the other one was. How they share that body, the two personalities. I think that stuff's cool. I'd really like to see this character appear again in a future show or project. That would be awesome. Um, but just not worth checking out the series again. Now we have Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. This one is going to go into Marvelous. I could rewatch it multiple times. I think it's awesome. The stuff with the Illuminati and all that I think was really cool. The death of Scarlet Witch, which I don't know. I don't think she's really dead, but we'll see. You know how Marvel is. They bring back people all the time. I mean, look at Loki. But yeah, Marvelous is a really good spot for this movie. Really well done. All right, Miss Marvel. This one is gonna go in one time watch. I don't think it was that bad. I think it was a cute little fun comic book TV show. I think it did what it was meant to do. Don't think it's worth going back to. That's that. Oh my gosh. This one is absolutely garbage. There's not much else to say about it. Trash. Bottom of the barrel as far as MCU films and Thor in general. I really thought it was downhill with the Dark World. I thought that would be like as low as we go. No, no, they proved me wrong. So that's where it's going in the garbage, where it belongs. I Am Groot. Have not seen it. She Hulk. Most people would probably put this in garbage. I'm gonna put it in one time watch. I think it was a fun little show. Some of the stuff didn't make sense. I do like that they brought Daredevil into the show. I think that's what kind of saved it for me from being garbage. So that's all I gotta say about it. Werewolf by Night. I could have gone without seeing it. I get what it was going for. I get what it was trying to do, and I think it did what it was meant to do. And it might work for some people. Didn't work for me. Wasn't a fan. I watched it in color and in black and white. My opinion is still the same. Black Panther Wakanda Forever. Um I think it's a good one-time watch. The stuff with Namor was cool. Other than that, I really didn't give a damn about anybody or anything in this movie, but I know what it's setting up to, so I felt the need to watch it. That's about it. Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special. One time watch. That's about all I needed to see of that. I do not need to see it again. Ever. Ant Man and the Wasp Quantumania. I would debate putting this in garbage, but I feel like to catch up to the story that they were trying to tell before they canceled the Kang Dynasty movie and all that, I feel like you kind of need to sit through it at least one time. So that's why I'm putting it there. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. This one is going to go into. Fuck it. It's going to go right into Assemble. I think this is the best of the three films. By far the most entertaining. I really like the backstory stuff with Rocket and all that. Um, the stuff with Gamora was pretty cool. That dynamic now between her and Quill is very interesting. So yeah, that's where that's going. I really fucking love that one. Secret Invasion. Now, while I am putting this in one time watch, I think it is on the higher end of this list because um, the story and the plot and everything is really easy to follow, and you really get intrigued and hooked into what's going on with all the characters and stuff. So I really like this one. This one really makes me like the character Nick Fury that much more. I think it's a pretty solid TV series. Very underrated as well. Loki season 2. Oh, I don't know how I feel about this one. I'm going to say back for seconds. I'll probably watch it again just to get more of a clear judgment on how I feel about it. Um but right now that's how I'm feeling about that one. By the ending it kind of feels rushed in a way. I don't know. Not 100% on board with it right now. But like I said, I'm going to try to watch it again. See if my feelings maybe change. The Marvels. This one is going to go in one time watch. I think it does what it's trying to do. It's good for what it is. I like the dynamic between all of their characters, and it can be funny at times. Um, it's on the lower end of this list though. Like very low. Echo, I seen the first episode, probably half of it honestly, and just stopped from there. Deadpool and Wolverine, this one's going straight into Assemble. I don't think it needs to be explained. I think this horse has been beat to death. Um, this is just this is just an epic comic book movie. I seen it in theaters. It was a blast. I seen it actually. I seen it twice in theaters. Had a blast both times. And then I've rewatched it like 6 times since. It's awesome. Leans a little heavy on the fan service. Yeah, I'll give it that, but it works. For what it is, it works. It's a Deadpool movie. Agatha All Along. I have not seen this one. Don't want to see it, really. Another one I have not seen, unfortunately, but I will get to seeing it. Um, Spider Man, Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider Man. This one is going to go into. I think it's worthy enough for back for seconds. I've seen it 2 or 3 times. One of those times was in theaters. Um, I think it's okay. It's definitely on the lower end of the Captain America movies as far as story and production, but I feel like for me personally it's one of the most entertaining. That's why it's higher up for me. Now we have Daredevil Born Again Season 1. This one is one time watch. It's on the higher end of it. I really like the story and what's going on with Kingpin and all that, but I feel like there wasn't enough Daredevil, the title character of this show. I feel like he wasn't in it enough. I also like the stuff with Punisher towards the end of the season. I think that stuff was great. Now we have Thunderbolts. This one might be unpopular, but this one's going in one time watch. No, just kidding. It's going to go in back for seconds. I think it's a decent movie. I see what it's going for, this ragtag group of misfits getting together, creating the new Avengers. Um, it was okay for what it was. I'd watch it again. Maybe my opinions would change, but I've only seen it once, and these are my thoughts first time through. Ironheart, have not seen it, but I will be seeing it. Now we have the Fantastic Four First Steps. This one is going to be in back for seconds. Honestly, I'm disappointed to say that. I wanted that to be an Assemble, if not Marvelous, but unfortunately, that's not what it was. I feel like the story was good, the setting was good. I feel like they didn't spend enough time with the character development or showing their relationship between each other all that much. I think they could have really dove deeper into all that stuff and they didn't take that opportunity, and that kind of sucks. So it'll go in back for seconds. I could rewatch it, but and Daredevil Born Again Season 2 I have not seen yet. Well, that's the bottom of the list, and what a list to get through it was. So if you guys enjoyed this content, go ahead and drop a like, maybe subscribe, leave a comment, tell me your opinions down below. You can go to tiermaker.com, find a list just like this, and make a list of your own just like me, and upload it, share it, tag me in it, do what you got to do. But with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one.